Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza. This is episode 50. What's going on, fellas? Tonight, we're going to be talking about some football. And you know what? It's right for episode 50 to have the two guys that I've had on the podcast the most. The OG, the present is going on right now, guys. Arturo Ibarra to my left, the bottom of the screen. You see his return. We haven't seen him since the Super Bowl disappearance of the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's finally here just in time for the 2021 NFL season. Marco Monreal. What's going on, fellas? Marco, let's start with you. What's going on, brother?
Hey, it's good to be back. It's good to be back on the pod. It's been a good while, but I'm glad to be back.
That's right. He went back to Magic City after the dreadful 31-9 Super Bowl game. We haven't seen you since, but it's okay. You're back. You're ready for football season. It's perfect. Let's get going. Art, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing great. Just got back from visiting my family over the weekend, so a little tired, but hey, we're here.
You're both tired. You're both traveling. I'm the only one working. We discussed it. I hate y'all both. No, I'm just kidding. Hope y'all had some good rest. But anyways, let's talk about it, guys. The 2021 NFL season is about to kick off this Thursday night. The champion Buccaneers, America's football team, Dallas Cowboys, about to square off. First, quick pick, guys. I'll start with you, Marco. What are your thoughts on that game? Yeah, just pretty much it. What's your thoughts on that game?
So it's kind of tough. I'm honestly in my heart, you know who I'm rooting for. I don't want the Bucks to win. I don't think a lot of people want the Bucks to win, but with the injuries that have happened or been reported in the last week or so, COVID issues with I think Zach Martin appeared on the cannot play list. That O-line, Dak being his first game back, might be a little bit of hesitancy and maybe his style of play. But I think with this Bucks defense and Tom Brady being in front of the fans again, especially being with Buccaneer fans truly for the first time, I think Tom Brady's going to do what he knows how to do. And I think corresponding back to the Dallas's defense last year, did Mike McCarthy and the defensive coordinator make the right adjustments to be a better defense this year, not like the awful one we saw last year, which I think ranked last or close to last year. So we got to see if those adjustments were made. Dallas presenting new young talent, especially at the linebacker position. We all know who it is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if I had to pick, I want Dallas to win. But with everything these past few days with the injuries and stuff, I think Bucks have a good chance of just blowing this one out of the water.
Absolutely. Art, what are your thoughts on game one of the NFL season?
I don't care who wins, man. I'm just excited to see football again. Thursday night football, man. I already told my fiance. I already told my wife, dude.
That's right.
Like, hey, you lost me after this first draft from yesterday on our second league for fantasy. I was like, you lost me. I was like, that's it. But I'm excited for football to start happening. I'm excited for Sundays, cookouts, things like that. But going back to the teams, it's the Cowboys are America's team. That's the team. And I think it would be nice for them to win. I think they need the win for them to kind of come back from all the injuries from last season. I know they've been featured on Hard Knocks, and we've seen Zeke getting back to college shape. And then Dak Prescott coming back from injury. It's great. I'm excited to see that. I know with fantasy, there's been a lot of hype about those players, and they're gonna bump back up. However, we do have the Super Bowl champions. So to me, I love all the weapons that Tom Brady's going to have. And I'm even excited to see him play, as he mentioned, without his knee brace. It's going to be one of his first games coming back to play without his knee brace. So we'll see how he moves around. But I really want the Cowboys
he moves around anyways.
Exactly. I know. What's he going to go from 3 miles per hour to 4? Oh,
yeah.
Shit, that big difference.
So
Fuck.
Yeah, but no, I'm hoping for the Cowboys to win. I want the Cowboys to win just for that kind of comeback story game. But just like Marco said, we kind of see how the tables may turn right there with the Bucks.
Absolutely. Marco, quick question. We haven't talked about it much, but what are your thoughts on the Cowboys on Hard Knocks? What is that? I know they were your OG team growing up. What has Hard Knocks brought to you this year?
I think it has definitely brought out a different light in what you think about the players as people because we don't see them behind uh, those training doors. We don't see them. Obviously, we don't know exactly what kind of true personalities or true character they have. I think I didn't expect Dak to be as as upfront and as as a badass. I really think Dak's a badass. The way he leads his team, that leader, that type of leadership, I didn't know he had that. And Zeke, how nice of a guy he is, and how he motivates his teammates and tries to be the best that he can every single day. I mean, at least this season, right? He
Right.
was a little chubby last season. He obviously made adjustments, but I think as a whole, as an organization, you can see um, how serious they are and how much they want to represent America's football team, right?
Yeah.
Um, America's team. But I think I think even more so this year, I think it really is showing us that if anybody can make a run and has a chip on their shoulder, it's going to be this Dallas football team. And I think we'll see later our predictions and why I have them where they are, and especially corresponding to the NFC East. So we'll see.
Absolutely. So, guys, for this episode, we want to make sure we get our predictions down. Set record. You know, me, Art, and Alex, who we've had on the episode before, on podcast before. We've been discussing, since the draft, since a few weeks ago before the preseason. We just want, give you our takes. And now I sent a link to both Marco, to Art. I even sent one to Alex. Wasn't able to get a hold of him, unfortunately. Hope everything's all good over there. Um, just trying to get, these guys' predictions. So we're ready to get going. So I'm actually going to start with Marco's list now. This one, you might see coming or you might not, so it really depends on you. Like, if you didn't see this coming, I'm just like, come on now, y'all knew better. So let us begin. So, good Lord, I don't even know if people can see that. Oh wait, yeah, they can. Okay, cool. Marco's list, ladies and gentlemen, consists of Kansas City Chiefs blowing the water out of everybody and going 20-0. Now, is that a prediction or is that a spoiler? We don't know. But I mean, give props to him for, being confident and believing in his boys. Like, he sees a window for them and it's gonna get there. Now, I'm surprised with the next one, the Buffalo Bills at 16-1. That one's a little shocking. I wasn't expecting him to go that route, but he did. Holy shit, what happened to my shit? Anyways, I fucked up somewhere, guys. So don't judge me. Okay, judge me. Anyway, so that's pretty much majority of the list right there. Art, your thoughts on this list?
I'm trying to look at it. I do agree with how he has them lined
Full
up.
screen it.
Like
Full screen it.
it's pretty much what you and Alex and I have been talking about. We do see the Kansas Chiefs going there. We had them going at the 1, the Buffalo Bills, Cleveland, Colts, Tennessee, the Chargers, and then the Patriots.
Me and you had said the Colts at first. Yes, we did say
Right.
that first. Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe he has the Ravens after that, and then the Pittsburgh's a close 9. So,
The Ravens don't make the playoffs. That's a shocker to me.
Also, the Ravens don't make. So,
He has them
so
missing.
he has Chargers instead of the Ravens. We had the Ravens going in, or no?
He has Titans, Chargers, and Patriots taking the wild card spots.
So even because of the numbers of the win percentage and everything, like it seems like a solid list of what we've been all talking about, and we've seen this before that. All the other football commentators have been saying, this is my list. The thing that I've been kind of going around back and forth, and I don't know if you'll see it on my list, but I've been talking to a lot of people on that with the Denver Broncos. They may pull up an offset just because of, I know Teddy's not the greatest quarterback. but they do have two great weapons in it. Their defense is healthy. So I would not be surprised if the Denver Broncos actually make it maybe to the wild card, but overall it's the same list that we've all been talking about since even before this.
Marco, explain your list for me a little more. Why do you have the Colts in but not the Ravens? What made that factor for you that you said, I see these guys here, not the other team?
Colts defense. Colts defense. That defense is, I think, was one of the best last year. And I think they have a possibility of maybe being the best defense this year, one of the best defenses this year. I'm talking about a top 5 defense in the league. I really believe that. And I think that's going to propel them. I think the new energy that Carson Wentz has brought into the building, we're going to see. If Carson Wentz becomes anything like he was in 2017, I think it's gonna be a show to watch. So
Is he fully cleared yet?
I believe he came off the
Yeah.
COVID protocol. I think he did come back. I think he's ready to go, and I think he's playing. I think he's gonna play week 1.
Okay.
So why do you have?
And
the
you're talking about
Ravens
his foot,
out,
right?
though?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have the Ravens out? Because they have a good defense and they have a good running offense. But I
great
just want to know your
defense.
point of view on why not the Ravens, and I want to know if you have the same.
I just don't think Lamar Jackson is ever gonna live up to. What's the point of going to the playoffs if you can't win in the playoffs? It's a lot of pressure right now for him, and I think
Do
he's
you
gonna
think
break
that
under
defense-
pressure again this year.
So sorry about that, but do you think defenses actually figure out his game plan, and that's why they're gonna like
Yes.
call out the run?
I think it's impossible in a sense to really stop Lamar, but Lamar to win in this league, you got to be able to pass the football to more than one person. Okay, he relied a lot on his tight end last year, a lot. Can those receivers live up to when Lamar his short pass game can be really good. Can be really good, actually, at times. But it's the inconsistency that I see. But I also think that I just don't think I think he's gonna fall under pressure this season. And I don't think he's gonna do as good as he thinks. I don't think they're gonna do as good as people think they are. I think going into this season, I think it's an overrated team. I don't think they make the playoffs. I really don't.
Wow. I mean, true to your conviction right there, Marco. I like it. I mean, it is what it is sometimes, right?
And I think it's a very shocking. It is a shock. Even when I was looking at it and I was breaking down the team, I just don't think they've done enough this offseason. I really don't.
I could agree with you that.
They gave the Chiefs their best O lineman to be an argument. You know what I mean? Their left tackle. They didn't want to pay him. Okay, this is people don't understand. Like, and I don't want to say this, and I don't want to put bad juju on anybody. But Lamar is quick, and he could take on anybody, and he could do whatever he wants with the football. And when he's running, right, running and scrambling. One bad hit though, it's dangerous.
Yep.
It's dangerous, and we saw it last year.
RG3 is a proven fact too.
Yeah, I know, and we saw that also. What was it last season or 2 seasons ago with Patrick Mahomes? I mean, yes, he's a mobile quarterback. He throws, but one bad hit and that was it.
Yeah.
So, and Marco made a really great point. Like they just re-signed or they just extended Mark Andrews to that 4-year, $56 million contract. So they are going to use him. That's Marco made it. That's your wide receiver 1, and that's who you rely on. So the defenses they're gonna know the pass play already.
And that's what I'm getting at, is that I think it's easy to exploit their offense. I really do think so. Lamar, the only way the Ravens win and get into the playoffs this year, no matter that defense, even they had that similar defense last year. And what did they do, right? And I just think that now the game plan is really. I don't think they did enough this offseason, and I think it's the same team, basically. So we'll see.
He's sharing my same sentiments. That's what I've been saying about the Ravens is that for whatever reason, you have Lamar, that Antonio Brown was available. There's a lot of free agent wide receivers and running backs. I don't believe that much in J.K. Dobbins, and I mean, unfortunately, now he's on the shelf for the rest of the season. Hollywood Brown, I'm not big on. Like, he's Antonio Brown's cousin, and he can't even live up to Antonio's. He can't fill those shoes. So yeah, he shares my sentiments on that. Art, looking at that list, anything from the NFC side that really like sticks out to you?
The one that sticks out to me is the New Orleans Saints. And just the Cowboys. I mean, I understand why he put them there, and I was having that talk with a couple of my family members this weekend. About the Dallas Cowboys. They do have three wide receiver ones, or three possible wide receiver ones in their team. They have a top 5 almost running back, and they have a top 5 quarterback. So they're able to make it to a Super. They're able to win a Super Bowl. The only thing that always takes them back, it's their defense. Their defense is just the one that can't keep up with their offense, and then their O-line is usually either hurt or the same thing. They can't keep up with their weapons. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Dallas Cowboys like actually pull the upset and like prove people wrong, because every year they say, hey, we're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, and then they don't make it. So it would be nice for them to have this comeback story, and then make it all the way. And then with the New Orleans Saints, I don't know if I would put them that high just because of the quarterback situation, and they don't have any wide receiver weapons. And I believe you and I talked about their only weapon right now that they're going to be using is
Kamara,
and he may get burned out, even though they've interviewed him and they've said, hey, how do you feel about all of that? How do you feel about being the number one? He's like, well, I don't care. I'll put him on my shoulder. He's a great RB, great receiver for that. And that's why a lot of us drafted on fantasy, because of the potential that he has.
Yeah.
But he may get burned out at the end of the season, and they added that extra game. So I don't know.
This is how I see Alvin Kamara's year going, because with that quarterback change, how, and I'll use fantasy for example, how we rave about Christian McCaffrey. Love him. Runs the ball, catches the ball, does everything possible. He is the Panthers' offense before this, upcoming season. Not really much last year, right? Because he was hurt. That's what I see this year for Kamara. Going to be great for fantasy. I don't even have him close to sniffing the playoffs. Marco, please do explain, why do you see the Saints rebounding and keeping that division theirs over Tampa Bay?
So after I did it, I really didn't go into. So I really think, and this is going to sound crazy, after seeing the work that
Okay.
Mr. Eating W's put in, after seeing that work he put in, after seeing his stint in the preseason, this is going to be shocking to a lot of people. I think Jameis Winston is a really good quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback. And I also think the defense is really good. Okay. And I think they're going to turn a lot of heads this year. I really think so. And to the point where I think the matchups that they have with the Bucks, I think I had them one winning each. I think I had their first matchup. I think the Bucks winning. The second one I had the Saints winning. I believe I had it like that. And I just think they're going to win a lot of football games this year. I really think so.
Fascinating. Your explanation got my head turned, because Mr. 30 for 30, I just don't know if I truly believe it right
Jameis Winston got some surgery needed in his eyeballs. Okay. From what I've been hearing in training and all these things, obviously is different once the season starts and what he's going to do. I think Jameis Winston's a really good quarterback. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback, and I think he's going to be the surprise this year in the NFL.
Art, anything else you see off his list that just got you like mind blown? Anything from the playoff games? What are your thoughts on his prediction of 20-0? Is that something you see more realistically happening, or is that just like fanboy loving, can't see them losing, We wish all of our teams could do that.
I mean, they do have one of those craziest offense. Like, hey, it is doable. They can do it. I mean, almost the Steelers almost did it last season. They didn't
In the
have the
beginning,
best
yeah.
offense, and it was just a couple of games that they choked. So Kansas City, like, I do see them doing that. I just don't think that they will, just because they don't want to. I don't think they want to put the extent of work on their players.
Okay.
And I believe that we saw that with the Steelers, they put all the players. You're like, hey, let's put them down, let's put them down, let's put them down, and then they get hurt. The Saints, the same thing. Michael Thomas played with that injury last year, and he was horrible. So I don't feel that the Kansas City will do that to their players, and it's the same thing that we see with the Packers. Once a player is done or they have something that they tweak, it's like, hey, you're out for 2 games. We don't want to like hurt you. That's the only reason why I wouldn't see the Chiefs do that 20-0.
Yeah.
But it's because like I don't think that they want to hurt their players. They're capable of doing it, but I just don't think they want to put that extent work on their players. That's the only reason why. I don't think it's not possible.
And that makes a lot of sense, right? I even told Jose, I was like, yeah, I put 20-0. Do I think they'll lose? I don't think they'll lose more than 1 game in the regular season. I don't think so.
Marco wanted to go back and say, like, hey, there's gonna be a loss somewhere. And I'm like, bro, you can't pick a game. I don't believe in your heart you could pick one game that you think they're gonna lose, because knowing Marco and his commit, how he truly sees that team, I didn't believe he would. So when he said I'm gonna go back and do it, I'm like, no, leave it as is. That is what you believe in, and
and
all
it's not even so much I just know what this team could do. I mean, Patrick and Travis have been talking about it in the offseason about not wanting to put that pressure on themselves, but if they really do, but they really believe in their hearts and in their mind, the way this football team runs, that they can go 20-0. They really feel like they can go undefeated. They both come out and said it. Like Patrick said, he talks about it like if it's a normal conversation, he's like, yeah, we're gonna go undefeated this season, and I really believe that we can do it. I completely agree. I don't see anybody matching up this new reconstructed O-line. We got better on defense.
But Tyrann Mathieu is out for a few weeks.
He is out for the few weeks, but I trust our linebackers. Our linebackers that we drafted even last season, and even now the ones that are gonna start this season. I feel completely confident that we're gonna go, and we're gonna. I really do think so. I think we go undefeated.
So let me ask you this, because it's something that Jose and I have been like talking, and we kind of saw this yesterday whenever we did that draft. How do you feel about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Do you think he makes a comeback, or do you think that he gets half the touches as we saw last season? Because that's what they did with Le'Veon Bell, but with his new RB2, like, do you think that's what they're going to do? Or do you think it's like, okay, he makes that great comeback season?
I think it all comes down back, and I think it all comes back to Andy Reid, right? And what he's wanting to do with this offense. Why'd you get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? Because it's an extra option, not only a running option, but a passing option, right? How many? Okay. And now we talk about how many touches is Clyde gonna get? I think in this era of football, and knowing Patrick's ability, I think you hand the ball over more to Clyde, because one, obviously we can't just be all pass offense, right? That's impossible. You need the running game in the NFL, even the present day NFL, right? You need to be able to squeeze the defenses, and then passing out, and then play action obviously is huge in this offense, right? Completely, right? So I think Clyde is going to see a lot of, especially with certain people being out, not coming back onto the roster, which I was really happy about, Le'Veon Bell. And then somebody like Williams, that is going to pick him up and is gonna construct him to be a good player. And I think him solidifying that number 1 spot now this season, not being a rookie, not having as much pressure as last year, and then being able to flow in this offense is very dynamic. I think he's gonna get a lot of touches of the football, and I think he's gonna be very important. And I don't think you stop that guy. I think you can't stop that. I think he's another Zeke type of running back if he gets going.
Well, statement indeed. I mean, for me, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's a good running back. I'm not gonna say great. He hasn't shown that yet for the NFL season, so I'm not gonna put that word with him, and that's fair. I think that's fair to say.
That's fair.
I do think Andy Reid does need to evolve the playbook a little more. I think the team needs to evolve a little more. Um, as much as I knock on him on Twitter, for what his Andy Reid's son did right prior to the Super Bowl, that car accident that involved a little girl going into a coma. Um, I do think that did put a little, pressure on him and, got his mind distracted. But of course, the performance of the players was what cost him. I think the playbook needs to evolve for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think that it needs to change up for more of the running game, like Marco was saying, a little more pass catching for, the halfback, because we need to see more plays evolve. Obviously, Travis Kelce is going to be a number one tight end this year, probably fighting it with Darren Waller. But we got Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman, two of the fastest men alive, on that team. Going to be dangerous as hell as well. But you have to, when those guys get shut down, almost weirdly enough, that like in the Super Bowl, you need someone else to go to, and that's where you get your first round running back to do something. That's where you're going to need that playbook from.
And also, I want us to kind of go back to the beginning of the season last year when our O-line was healthy and how well he was doing, right? Maybe not against the best teams, right? But when he got the ball, he was making things happen, especially with the O-line, right? At the beginning of the season last year, we had probably one of the best O-lines. And then we saw what happened with injuries and things that happened right towards the end of the season. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire's, performances went down and he wasn't picking up a lot of yards. And Andy Reid was now relying more on passing plays, right? Like all the time, because there was nothing else he could do. The O-line kept being destroyed. And
you're right. You're right.
He was trying to get him, to do different things. But I think now with this new O-line, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, guys, let's move on to Art's list now. Great topic on that, guys. Definitely love that one. So now on Art's lists, we have what I would call version 5.0, because when Art first sent me his list, he was drunk as fuck, and he actually had like teams like the Panthers in there. He has some crazy ass shit where the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. So this is list 5.0. Okay, that's what I'm gonna go with. Looking at this list right now, guys, I mean, clearly it's, a lot better than what I had seen that night. But Marco, looking down this list, let's start with the NFC, because we talked a lot about the AFC. What do you think about that NFC list? Is there anything that stands out to you? Clearly, you had the Cowboys as high as maybe a third spot. Art doesn't even have them in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I don't think the Cowboys are a below 500 team this year. I think they have too much of a chip on their shoulder. I think the energy that Dak being back on the field is going to bring to that team is going to be something else, momentum, all that good stuff. The thing that surprises me the most, in my eyes, is one, Chicago being an over 500 team, and the 49ers going 15-2. First of all, they don't even know if who's going to be their number one the whole season. And
you argue for that both teams.
Huh?
You could argue that for both teams. Both the Bears and the Niners. So
yep, exactly.
Art, I'm gonna give you my thoughts, Art. I don't hate the 49ers pick, because personally, if anyone's listening to this podcast, knows that I've been raving the 49ers. When healthy, they're beast. So I'm not gonna knock on that. Have them over the Buccaneers. That's probably where I'm just like, questionable. The 13-4 Washington football team. My God, you have a lot of faith in Ryan Fitzpatrick on that one to overcome. You must be the defense, because it can't just be him. It cannot just be him.
The defense.
Okay. You have the Panthers, barely over 500 team. Okay. Let's see how Sam Darnold does. He needs that motivation, so maybe he can get up there. You did it. You did what you put the Seattle Seahawks out of the postseason. You crazy son of a gun. You did what Alex been saying. You are trying to get on my nerves. So please, Art, do explain to me your NFC list. What made you think that these teams are some of these teams are better than what the other teams are, and why Russell Wilson's not in the fucking postseason, man.
So the reason why I put the Washington there, it's because of their the East. It's gonna be. I mean, we always see it going like crazy in that. I'm not saying the Cowboys can't do it. I think that they're gonna get some hiccups on the road, and they're just gonna go haywire again. Which is what I hope it doesn't happen, but I do see that happening just because everything that we've seen in past years. The Eagles, that's another one that I just don't know. The Giants, they're out of it, and I do have faith on the Washington team just because of their defense, and I think that they're gonna push it. Of course, I know their quarterback is not the best, but he is a good quarterback. I mean, he's a good quarterback that's going to throw patches. He's going to throw touchdowns. We saw that with Miami, and then they took him out, and then the team went to shit. But mainly what I did with the list was I wanted to see some upsets. I literally went down the line on this one and just kind of see like which upsets would I like to see just to make it interesting, make the whole division interesting. And similar with what we saw with the NBA, like we saw the lower teams that we didn't think that they were going to make it to the championship make it. So I was kind of thinking the same way, like I would like to see an upset in the NFL just to make it interesting. We always see the top teams make it, and you always leave everyone else. So I was like, you know what, let's give the Washington maybe a good track record on that. I know the Packers, Rodgers is looking for a redemption on this, even if it's his last year. The 49ers are looking at a redemption also after all the injuries from last season. And when healthy, they're a really, really great team. Now,
I like that word you used though, healthy. Thing is with this season, COVID. I think we're gonna see a lot of people missing big games.
Oh yeah,
throughout the season. So
and
Ron Rivera, wanting everybody vaccinated. Hey, it's gonna do something different. You need your players to be playing to make a difference.
I mean, think about it from Ron Rivera's standpoint, and we have people that we know and love that have had cancer or have cancer at this point. They're you can call them health nuts. They want to be safe. They want to be protected right now. And Ron Rivera learned that very critically. Like last year, the fact that he was there for majority of the season, like being there even though he had cancer, risking it all for his team, that showed great commitment. But he also he was wanting great respect from his players. Like, hey, can you keep yourself clean for me? Can you keep yourself clean for the team? Because we don't want to risk anybody's health, and we don't want to risk mine. We don't, And thankfully, he recovered from it. He's healthy, and we pray for everyone else that's going through that to come out of this healthy as well. But yeah, man, I mean, COVID's going to hit big, and we have too many players that don't want to do it because they don't trust the vaccine, because they don't trust their doctors, they don't trust the vaccine itself. So it is what it is. We said it before, we're not going to force anyone to do it. We're not, I'm not going to be that guy to like shout like you have to get it, but think about others too. Like think about their safety, think about your loved ones, besting there. So let me ask you this, Art. Why the Titans losing to the Ravens? That's an epic rivalry that's been growing the last few years. But what about the Ravens that has you stand out over the Titans?
So why the Titans are losing to the Ravens?
Yeah, and the wild card.
I think they choked. Yeah, no, like hey, they have AJ Brown and they have Julio Jones. That's gonna open that passing game for Tannehill. Tannehill is gonna get deep passes. He's gonna get slot passes. He's gonna be a great quarterback for this team, though. This opens up the line for Henry to run. It's not gonna be, hey, let's just blitz. Let's just cover Henry because that's the guy that's gonna run it straight through us. No, like now you have that opening for Julio and AJ, which opens that line for Henry to run through. But we've seen that the Ravens defense is a good defense. They stop the run. And I have a feeling that they're gonna stop Derrick Henry. And once they stop Derrick Henry, I feel that after that it's just your passing, and I don't know if just the passing is enough for the Titans to get through the Ravens. I think they need to run, and I think the Ravens stop the run. That's the reason why I have
And
that
and
that wild
I
card.
like the points you made about it opening up the offense, right, in a more dynamic way, right? Where I disagree is when have the Ravens beat the Titans in the playoffs?
Last year.
Oh, they did, right? They
Yes,
did beat them. They did
they
beat
did.
them.
They
Yeah, they
did.
did.
Yes.
They did beat them.
That's why
I
I
don't know why
always
I was
make
thinking.
that
I was
point.
thinking of 20. COVID did something weird to me. I forgot. I thought it was 2018 still.
You know what I think it was?
Um,
I think Brady beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, just made you want to forget, dust away like Thanos dusted the freaking Marvel Universe away. You want to dust away that playoffs. It doesn't exist in your brain. It does not exist. It does not,
it's
compute.
okay. I don't like Ryan Tannehill anyway, so it's all right.
Does anybody?
Ryan
I
Tannehill is
mean,
garbage.
You have him on
So
your
I
team, right,
agree. I
Jose?
agree.
hey,
But at the end of the day, I agree with what you were saying, Arturo.
No, and then going back to your question of why I have the Bears in, like I agree with you. That's my team, and I needed to put him in the playoff as a wild card. Like
Of
that's
course.
just me wanting to put him in there. But I do see them being a good team if Justin Fields plays. Just like if I see the 49ers being a good team if Trey Lance plays. This is me saying, okay, week 3, week 4, you have those two QB1s playing. With the 49ers, we don't know. They may use them in a 2 quarterback run. They may use Garoppolo 1 and then switch to Lance. With the Bears, if they're just stuck up as we know, I mean, I know that they may just play Andy Dalton just to prove a point. It's like, oh, that's our QB1, that's your QB. And hey, I'm okay with that. If you want to play him, go for it. You're gonna get fired. Which, hey, I won that too. So I
but
rather,
at the cost of getting the coach fired, you're going to lose a freaking wide receiver one,
yeah.
and maybe Khalil
So
Mack because he's probably going to get
yeah,
tired of
no,
that shit.
that's the thing. So I feel that they have to. This is the year for the Bears to prove, hey, I'm a good head coach, or at least I can be a decent head coach that makes us or gets us to the playoffs. And like I told Jose Luis, like before, whenever we saw the trade rumors with with Rodgers leaving, I wasn't happy that Rodgers was going to leave the Packers because I feel that now that we have a quarterback, this is the chance for the Bears to prove, hey, we can beat the Packers, we can beat Rodgers. That's the thing. We've never been able to have a good team or a decent team that beats the Packers. So
Jay Cutler, baby.
that's that's the only reason why I would want to see them there if they did. But hey, shit happens.
Yep, for sure. And as my child screams for torture for whatever reason, let's move on to my list. Let's see what y'all think of it. So, that's not my list there. Hold on, give me a second. Jesus, got too distracted. Anyways, so Art, why the 49ers win the? Let me ask you real quick. And keep quick thought. Why the 49ers are your champions, and why do you think they're going to win the 6th title?
I just won the upset, man. I think they're the
You
team that
really?
after the injuries, they're just gonna create the offset. Like that's what I'm going for. I just want the upset there.
You crazy son of a gun. All right, so now let me go ahead and put up my list, and then boom. So there's some things that Marco's probably not gonna like. I don't have the Chiefs number 1. I have them number 3. Oh man, and I don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. I think they'll be 1st in the NFC. Looking at my list, guys, and Marco, pick up your jaw. Pick up your jawline, Vato. Okay, Marco, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me how crazy I am. I love it. I love the fact this is your reaction. This is beautiful. Go ahead.
The disrespect you have put on my Chiefs is a truly amazing. I really think it's an amazing thing to see. But I'm
Divisional
not
round
surprised.
losers, baby.
But I'm not surprised being the Patriots,
Yeah, me either.
being a Patriots goon that you are.
The
You
Patriots was in the
freaking
1st round. Hold on. So I don't know what you're talking about.
no. I'm just saying because you're an AFC rival. That's all I'm saying. I don't care where you put them. Okay, your hate and dislike towards anything that has ruined the run you have had the past feels like 50 years. Okay,
Feels
question
like
mark.
50 years. What the hell?
Feels like 50 years.
You're just
Um,
adding on Tom Brady's age at this point. You son of
yeah,
a
you're
gun.
right. That's okay. But yeah, that's a divisional round. You got to be fucking kidding me. That is ridiculous.
That's right.
Okay,
I think
I would have respected it in the okay. I would have been like, okay, in the conference championship, okay, let's I could divisional round.
But do you
The
see why I have one
Chiefs
in the Super Bowl? Do you
more
see
than
why I have
likely
so that I can do that?
more
I
than
couldn't do
likely
that.
coming off a bye. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid coming off a bye and losing.
We've seen a lot of teams losing after bye weeks. I'm just,
Not the Chiefs.
anything can happen. But it's called the postseason. This is the 18-week regular season. That's
I
right.
like
I have the
wait.
Titans win the Super Bowl, and I did. And when I had them matched up with the Chiefs, I did not have the Titans losing. So I was not
You
going to make
have
the Titans lose.
Ryan Tannehill winning a Super Bowl.
I have Julio Jones winning the Super Bowl. I
You
have
have
King
Ryan.
Derrick Henry.
You have
I have
Ryan Tannehill
I have Mike
winning a Super Bowl.
Vrabel. Mike Vrabel gonna lead that team, beat some
Mike
asses.
Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is fat and old. Okay. Tom Brady
So is
called him
Andy
fat and old
Reid.
yesterday.
So is Andy Reid. You cannot say that.
But I was going based on. Did you see Tom Brady's quote? Did you
Yes,
see
I
Tom
did.
Brady's quote? He called him fat, and he's like he's out of shape, and he's kind of a douchebag if you get to know him.
It is what it is, papas. All right,
Um,
Marco. I just wanted to see your reaction before you head out because I know you're on location right now, so you gotta
hey
dip
man,
out. But
it was fun being back on. I really appreciate you having me on again.
hey, man, always welcome.
Hey,
Always.
I'll be back soon.
You want to give
I'll
your
see
plugs
y'all
out to
later.
everybody? Anything like that? You want
You
to
can
plug to
find
anything?
me at Marcitos like always. On all platforms, you can find me there. But I appreciate being on the pod today. It was fun. It was good to be back.
All right, man. Take care. You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, brother.
Later.
All right, enough of that guy. Jesus, who invited that fool? I'm kidding. All right, what do you think though on my pick? Was that crazy? Do you think I'm being too much of a homer for the Patriots? Not that I had them going anywhere past the wild card.
I don't think they make it to the wild card.
You
Just be
didn't pick the Patriots, right?
no, I had them right at the end, like right at the edge. I know I do have them going in, but I have them losing against the Bills.
Okay, so same as mine.
So-
I have them losing Titans.
Yeah, I just have them going 11-6. You have them. Yeah, I mean it's close. The only reason why I don't think they make it is just because of that Mac Jones is still soft. He's not.
That's absolutely fine. I agree with you.
That's the only reason why. But yet again, he can surprise a lot of people, which
Again,
he fits the Belichick
bro.
playbook. I'm like, it's exciting to see
He's
that again.
coming off the Nick Saban coaching system. Like he's coming off that. That's perfect. He
Yep.
fits the mold. Is it enough for him to lead the team to playoffs? No. I mean, it's enough to like help them get there, but I think the defense will be a big thing. I think the run game with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, I think they will be the key factors as to why they get there. Not so much Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones will do what maybe Tom Brady did his first few years, dinking and dunking, short passes, maybe one touchdown a game. I think he'll get double-digit passing touchdowns unlike Cam. I'll think that. Cam didn't get that last year. He only got 8 freaking passing touchdowns. But no, man, I don't have the Chiefs getting past the Titans because I believe the Titans might actually win the Super Bowl. I think they're low-key favorites to do it. I mean, I think they're the dark horse. There are people that don't believe in them for whatever reason. They have them way too low on their standings, and I don't see it. Not with Derrick Henry, not with Julio, not with A.J. Brown. Is Ryan Tannehill the best quarterback? No, but he's having a career resurgence in that team, in that city.
Yeah.
So that's my pick there. Marco didn't say anything about, the playoffs, about, like how I don't even have the Bucks going into the conference championship. For as much as I'm a Tom Brady homer, I don't even have them going past the divisional round.
And I mean, with the first one that I had sent you, I didn't have the Kansas City in there, and the only reason why I didn't,
Or did I? I don't even know my list anymore. Oh, they get my conference championship, but they
yeah.
lose. Sorry, I was
Now,
looking at your list.
the only reason why I didn't have the Kansas City going on that first list that I had sent you, or even making it to the playoffs, was because I have a feeling just like what we talked with Marco about the Ravens. They're gonna figure out the offense. And I feel that they just pull upsets. Like I think this year it's gonna be an upset party. That's in my head, right? But like the
Mhm.
first game that they have against the Browns, like I have the Browns winning against the Chiefs. That's a crazy upset for the start of the season. Coming out of a loss from the Super Bowl, you would expect the Chiefs to win the first game. I have them going 0-1. Then they beat the Ravens, they beat the Chargers, they beat the Eagles, but they lose against the Bills,
Okay.
and then they lose against Washington. Which that's a crazy one, but hey, if they lose against Washington, Tampa
And it
was able to
happened.
figure it out.
Yep.
They beat the Chiefs, they beat the Titans, they beat the Giants. I feel the Packers beat them. And then after that is the Chiefs just keep winning. That's what I have right now. And then at the conference, the Bills kick them out again. I feel that Josh Allen wants the revenge for being kicked out last season.
What about Stephon Diggs? You remember he stood by after losing that game to them, and he watched their celebration, their conference championship
He
celebration.
stood out on that field.
He's motivated, and that's why I think he'll make it far back into the conference, but I don't have him past that. Bills could do it. Bills Mafia knows they can do it. This is a time for them that they can do it because. And I didn't get the chance to, I should have mentioned it earlier. I was kind of letting Marco and you talk a lot more, get that conversation going. I should have mentioned this. I don't believe, yes, the Chiefs have reset their O-line back, because one tore his Achilles and they kicked him out. The other one tore his ligaments. They kicked him out. And now they got some other ones back, but they weren't the same level as the O-linemen they had before.
Right.
I think they're going to struggle a little more over there on that side of the field. So, we'll see how that goes. I don't think it's the elevated levels of the Chiefs that he's expecting, or maybe other people are expecting. That's why I have them going 13-4. That's why I have them losing the divisional round. There are matchups I think they can't lose. Remember, I said clearly I think the Packers are going to start this season 10-0. That's one of the Chiefs' losses. I think the Chargers are going to get them once. That's another loss.
Yeah.
Bills, I think that was one of the other ones that I had them losing. And I can't really remember right now who's the other team, but overall, I think there's fair points to saying these teams can beat the Chiefs. And it's not like many, right? It's not like I said, oh, they lost 6 games and they barely made it. No, I'm saying there's a little less than a handful of teams that can get them, and this is the time to get them. Take the advantage. So I don't think it's crazy. Marco's crazy, but we're all a little crazy because we're all football fans. So we can't wait for that shit to go down this weekend. I personally have week 1 off for work. I didn't request it. They just gave it to me, and I'm freaking excited. I will be watching all the games I can. I'm going to put on Red Zone so I can keep up with the other stuff. I'm going to be panicking as fuck with fantasy football.
The only question that I have
go ahead.
Why do you have the Vikings going in?
Over the Bears? Or over
no,
the
just overall. Like why do you have it? Because so I don't have them going in, but
right.
A lot of other NFL people, like reviewers and everything, they don't have the Vikings going in.
I don't have the Vikings in. They had 8.
But
okay,
so you have them winning
10-7.
So who had him in?
I had the so you want to know? I had the entire NFC West in. The entire NFC West. So
you didn't have anyone from the East.
I had the Cowboys. They
going
win 10-7.
in.
So they win the division.
So you have the Cowboys win the division, and then you have
you want me to pull it back
Vikings.
up? You want me to pull it back
up?
So that's my list. I have Tampa, Rams, Packers, Cowboys, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals. Those are the teams. I had the entire NFC West. The Vikings are at 8. They just miss. That's what I have them at. And then I have the entire NFC West fighting it out. That's what I had.
That's what. Okay. No, that makes sense.
No, so I didn't have the Vikings. I think I had them close because here's the thing. I don't think their defense is as good as they were a few years ago, but I think they're still good. as far as what their coach can get them, but not enough to be like, oh, you can beat it. I think they lose a tiebreaker game to one of the NFC West teams, and I think that's what makes me think, oh, they just lose.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked that you have the Seahawks out. I mean, I know Alex has them out, and yeah, freaking nuts. That's what I'm gonna say right now. I didn't have the Washington football team in there. I had them at 9-8. I think that's fair, but I just don't. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. I just don't see much.
I just think that he proves himself. Like I said, there's a lot of players that I would like to see fully up. Like I'm just saying upsets over and over again.
Mhm.
But like it's a lot of the players that I see that they were either in other teams and it's like, hey, you know what, you're not good for this team, go find somewhere else. And they did that to Fitzpatrick. They've done that to Fitzpatrick like for the past how many seasons he's played on the NFL and how many different teams he's played on.
He's played for the last 100 years, and he's played for every team, in my opinion.
So he's a backup of a backup of a backup, and he just keeps changing teams. And the only reason why I'm saying, it could work is because of what he did in Miami last year. We didn't expect it, but hey, didn't he make it 12? They were 12 and something, and then Tua came in, and that was it.
He wasn't 12 and something.
What was it?
He was not. I think he only had lost like the second or third game. I think, but they were still like positive, or they're about to be 500. And they said, you know what, Tua, you're in. And then they kept going back and forth because they couldn't decide what they wanted with their lives. So it was very confusing. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a good, journeyman. I think a lot more people would like him a lot more than Nick Foles, but Nick Foles is Super Bowl MVP. So, it is what it is there. Ryan's going to have his opportunity. But Tyler Heineke's right there. He's going to be like sniffing, waiting for that opportunity to get it back, because he impressed a lot of teams. He impressed a lot of people with what his performance against the Bucks. Oddly enough, because of the surprise factor of what he was, Heineke was, the Bucks defense didn't know what to do at times, so they were just out of sorts, but they still were able to pull it off, right? But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a crazy ass season. I think the rosters that we have, and I'm going to put the list up. I know for the people that are listening audio wise, they're like, "What the fuck? I can't hear the list. I don't know what it is." So I'll put it up on Instagram and Twitter. For those, I'll do it on later tonight. But yeah, those are our list, guys. Was there any other shocking factor that you want to talk about before we close out?
I mean, I agree with you on the one. I mean, I agree with you and Marco on the Bears one and the 49ers. We don't know who the quarterbacks are going to be.
Oh, did you see my Bears list? I don't think you.
Yeah, it was 5 and 5 and 11, 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
I do agree with you on that. Like, if
it's not shocking to see, it's
No,
Andy
it's
Dalton.
not.
It's Neil. It's a coach. I mean.
No, if Dalton keeps being the starter, that's what it's going to be. If they realize, oh, you know what, we're going to have him for the next 5-6 games as a starter, hey, and you keep losing, but hey, yeah, I'm going to give him another chance. That's your record. That's what I'm saying. Like, I give them 2-3 games before they put Fields in. And yet again, that's already too late for them to be putting him in.
I think I wish I had asked Marco why he gave Houston 2 wins when me and you didn't give him shit. Now with Tyrod Taylor.
I just think that
I think that's an 0-17 team.
And the one that I was like the James Winston, yeah, he is a good quarterback as a backup. Hey, better than Tyson Hill. But they don't have the weapons. That's the only reason why I wouldn't give it to him.
Now with Michael Thomas on the sideline. Yeah, you're right. Mm-mm. You're absolutely right. I agree with you there. So, that for me, that was my more shocking pick was that over the 20-0 prediction, because he's right. The Chiefs can do some crazy things. It is possible to see them go undefeated because they almost went undefeated last year. They only lost 2 games. So it's not that crazy, but it's also a longer season. So it might be a little crazy. But the Saints one is just like fucking loco, dude.
And none of us had the Steelers going in at all.
Me and you had them borderline. I think Marco had them under 500. That's a little. They've never gone under 500, so I don't believe they'll do that this year. But we and you had them at 9-8, not making it, and I had them at 10-7, not making it. And that's a lot of respect to Mike Tomlin and what his coaching abilities is. They won't get under 500. I don't think they will this year. But I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, You got the Browns, who have been evolving the last couple of years. You have the Ravens, who are still, to me, a bigger threat than the Steelers, which is weird, right? Because all the critiques we just made about the Ravens, they have a solid defense. Steelers lost Bud Dupree. I still declare that as being a huge factor.
And I know they haven't lost TJ yet, but they have not restructured his.
So here's my thing too. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, yeah, TJ Watt's great. Minka Fitzpatrick's great, but that Bud Dupree loss last year when he tore his ACL and he was out, that started the downward spiral for the Steelers. That they just never recovered after starting 10-0, and they just lost and lost. And I think they only won one more game in between all those losses. So it's just Bud Dupree's a major factor, and that's personally another reason why I have the Titans going to the Super Bowl and winning. It's crazy. I know it's nuts, right? Like, but this is what we're going for. We're going for bold ass predictions. I don't have the Chiefs in the conference championship. You don't have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Marco has them going undefeated. This is the kind of things we love to see. But anyways, now we have NFL season coming up. We're ready for that. NBA basketball season next month. Oh, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to talk about those shit. Me and you got fantasy football. We're in 2 of them together. I'm in 3 total. I don't know if you're in any more. I'm excited for that. I mean, I'm already, you know this. You know I feel good. Okay, so I'm gonna win that $50 buy-in fantasy. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a fuck if Yahoo Sports Fantasy ranks me a B. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of everybody then with my team. And the one we did yesterday, I rated ours, Art. I think me and you had the second and third best drafts. I think there's like one person that had better than us, but I think we did good. So hopefully everyone stays healthy and we're good and we get some money now. Of course, that's a winner take all probably fantasy league. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But tomorrow night, bro, we get together. We get together and we're gonna be going for our $100 buy-in league, the Puro Pinche Sports Fantasy Football League, 12-man team. We're gonna get together our pluckers. Oh, I'm excited, bro. We're gonna freaking
what?
Pluckers. Yeah, so we're gonna go fuckers. Don't fucking locos. Like, chill out. It's pluckers. Did I say fuckers? My bad, bro. Shit, fuck. Sorry, babe. Sorry. Anyways, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for tomorrow. The anxiety, you know, my hair is turning gray because of all the excitement, but it's all for this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Oh, it's all for this. Right here. The Puro Pinche Sports Fantasy Football League trophy. It's all for this. We're in this, baby. I'm a 2-time champ. I don't know if you can read it right there, guys. I'm a 2-time champ. Mr. Got Your Ass. You can't read it. Maybe you can, maybe you cannot. Anyways, this is what we're fighting for. Plus, you know, we're all putting in $100, so there's $1,200 right there up for grabs, ready for somebody. Now, I'm not the current champion. Alex Mantilla is. Lucky son of a gun. His name's on here. 2020, his brother right here. But I'm up here twice, damn it. I'm gonna make it a 3rd time. Damn it. Art's gonna try not to become a 3-time or 2-time toilet bowl champ.
2-time. You've been saying it wrong this whole time, but it's I've only done it once. I just let you talk.
Hey man, we're in it. I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. This is it, baby. This is it. I'm excited. Oh my god, everyone's attacking Art. It's a bedroom. I don't know what it is. Maybe the dog. But anyways, Art, give us your plugs, man, before we sign out.
Yeah, man. So y'all can find me at Beachbum AI on Instagram. That's the only one that I have right now. But if you guys have any questions, fantasy football, I mean, Jose Luis and I are talking about it. We're in leagues. And
we're knowing our wives.
If you guys want to join it next year, or if anyone's interested, hey, let us know. Maybe we can start another league just for listeners, and we'll go from there. That'll be interesting.
That'd be fun. And you know what? Maybe we make a poll out. Maybe it'll be a dynasty league. Maybe it'll be a half PPR, full PPR, standard, head coaches in, whatever you want. You know, you voted, but maybe I'll get another trophy, or maybe Art will, or I'll get it and Art can hold it. But I want my name on here again. I want to be 3-time champ. I I wanted to win it all, and I think I might win all 3 fantasy leagues I'm in. Don't invite me for more, guys, because I'll do my best to smoke you, and I most likely will. That's right. I'm that cocky as fuck. Anyways, guys, you can follow me at Jose Luis _19 on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Jose Garza Jr. 10. I don't remember sometimes the handles, so bear with me. Follow the podcast, guys, at Puto Picha Sports Podcast on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at Picha Sports Pod. Ladies and gentlemen, for Marco Monreal, who's not here no more, for Arturo Ibarra, for myself, Jose Garza, we are Puro Picha Sports, and we are out.